Whew. Okay. Got my shirt. Check. No fingers. Check. All right. I think I'm ready to do this. Hello, everybody. It's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk. Sorry about that. And I'm here to do another live video. Now, this time it's not going to be a Q&A. Yet last time my Q&A, number 5 that I did, I told everybody I was going to be doing your next Wrestler Talk video. It's been over a month now, and I figure I should go ahead and do the next Wrestler Talk video for you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big one. That's right. Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be giving you guys a brief little history on Stone Cold Steve Austin. What were his pros, what were his cons, and overall what I think about him. But as you could tell with the shirt, you could tell I'm a huge Stone Cold fan. I was a huge Stone Cold fan. Okay? I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. I consider him one of my favorite wrestlers. He's definitely in the top 10 list. Now, just because I didn't watch him back when he was in his prime and he was actually wrestling, that doesn't mean I can't like the guy. That doesn't mean I can't go back on his history and watch some of his matches and segments and be like, God, I wish I could have seen that. I love Stone Cold. The same thing with guys like Eddie Guerrero. I was just a fan of theirs. Even watching today, I'm still a fan of theirs. They're just Stone Cold revolutionized the era of WWF back in the day. He was the face of the Attitude Era. He was the face of that era, hands down, no questions asked. He's one of the most popular wrestlers of all time. Sports entertainers, hands down. Hands down. Now, here's the thing, though. I just want to talk about brief history. Now, again, I'm just going to say this right now. I don't know everything about Stone Cold, all right? It's not like I know every ounce of stuff that he's been through, all right? So there might be some stuff I leave out or I might forget. So just bear with me. This is just for what I remember. I know a lot about Stone Cold, but I don't know everything. As we all know, he wrestled in WCW. He wrestled a little bit in Steve Austin. Then that's when he came to WWF. And I believe he would start off as this heel. He ended up being Jake the Snake Roberts at King of the Ring. And that's when he came up with the infamous line, Austin 3:16 says, I just whooped your ass. That's where that line came from. And from that, I think everybody will agree, it was from that day. That day is when Stone Cold was born. After he beat Jake Roberts at King of the Ring, and he said that infamous line, that's when Stone Cold was born. And a lot of people forget that he started out as a heel. You know, he started as a heel as this badass, kicking ass, taking names, flipping people off, cussing out, drinking a lot of beer. As years went by, he ended up feuding with Bret Hart, and they had a great submission match back at WrestleMania 13, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, WrestleMania 13. Bret Hart was the babyface, Stone Cold was the heel. And at the end of it, you saw the Blaze Stone Cold losing the match, but he did not submit. He passed out. A lot of the blood pouring down his face. It's an infamous scene. If you look up like some Stone Cold images, you see the blood spatter with the blood going between his teeth, gap between his teeth. That's one of the most infamous photos you'll see, images of Stone Cold you'll see. And that was that day when the fans started actually cheering for him. And that's when they did the double turn, where Stone Cold became the babyface and Bret Hart became the heel. Because Bret Hart kind of was acting more heelish. It was a weird scenario where two guys start somewhere and then they end somewhere. And Stone Cold became a major player after that. After that, he won the Intercontinental Championship against Owen Hart, but unfortunately, Owen Hart hit the sit-down tombstone pile driver, and broke Stone Cold's neck, so I had to paralyze him. He could have easily paralyzed him, so he had to take time off. He had to vacate the title. From there, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. When it comes to Stone Cold Steve Austin, there is a lot to talk about. Here's the thing: there's so much about Stone Cold. I could literally talk for hours about Stone Cold, but I mean, all the great feuds he's had with guys like Undertaker, Mick Foley, you know, The Rock, and then his most famous one being with Vince McMahon. You see, because every time now, because ever since the Bret Hart Screwjob, the Montreal Screwjob, I should say, everyone kind of related to Vince as this like asshole, this villain that you hate. He played the role really well, as he's your boss, and you can't lay a hand on him at all. Stone Cold was that guy that we wish we could all be. Someone who doesn't take authority and just wishes one day we can go up to somebody we don't like and that's ordering us around and we could just hit them. And we could just do that. And that's what Stone Cold did. He was the guy that started, you can hit Vince McMahon. And that's what he did. He hit Vince McMahon. He would attack him. He would embarrass him every week. There's, of course, the infamous corporate beer bath where The Rock was the WWF champion leading into WrestleMania 15 against Stone Cold for the WWF title. And there was that infamous scene where he got the beer truck and started spraying the corporation with the beer bath. There was a infamous scene where Stone Cold trapped Vince McMahon at the hospital, and he hit Stone Cold. I think it was a frying pan. You hear a frying pan shot. It was hilarious. There's when Stone Cold was kayfabe fired from WWF, and he came out with a gun onto Vince's head, and it turned out to be just a fake gun. It made Vince pee his pants. Hilarious and infamous stuff like that. And later on, after his incredible feud with The Rock, he won his first WWF World title back at WrestleMania 15. He had numerous great matches with guys like Dude Love, A.K. Mick Foley, The Undertaker, The Rock, Kane, Vince himself, Stone Cold, even Triple H as well. And of course, I'm sorry. He didn't win his first WWF title against The Rock. That was I believe his second. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm stupid. WrestleMania 14 is when he won his very first WWF title against Shawn Michaels. And then that's when Shawn Michaels left the WWF for 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sorry. He won, I believe, his second title against The Rock at WrestleMania 15 and next year's WrestleMania. So you have that. That was a moment of itself. Stone Cold just revolutionized the entire business. He became tag team champions with guys like Dude Love, with Triple H when I'm losing my train of thought here. Stone Cold, which is extremely popular. He won the WWF title 6 times. Later on in the year, one of the more infamous scenes as well is WrestleMania 17, which a lot of people consider to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Stone Cold ended up turning heel and joined Vince McMahon. And they had some comic sketches with him and Kurt Angle and Vince and stuff like that. And then he had the tag team with Triple H. Unfortunately, Triple H injured his quad, so he was taken out for a while. Stone Cold then was just kind of like Vince's bitch, pretty much. Until the Alliance Invasion angle came along, and then Stone Cold ended up turning heel again, this time against the WWF to join WCW, which was weird. Then after the whole Invasion angle ended, Stone Cold lost the title to Chris Jericho, the Undisputed title. The NWO came along, started wreaking havoc on Stone Cold and The Rock. Stone Cold ended up feuding with Scott Hall, and then Rock fought Hulk Hogan. Then they're down that road. while Eric Bischoff was the new general manager of Raw. Stone Cold later on became the co-general manager of Raw. Later down the line, after his final match at WrestleMania 19 against The Rock, and the view for that was The Rock couldn't beat Stone Cold at WrestleMania. This was the Hollywood Rock, so he was a villain. He came back, and The Rock ended up being Stone Cold, and that was Stone Cold's final match, and a way to go out. Later that year, he became the co-general manager with Eric Bischoff for Monday Night Raw. There was an infamous Survivor Series match, Team Bischoff versus Team Austin at 03. If Austin lost, he would have to be released from being the co-general manager, and he did. His team ended up losing, so he was fired. He had to leave. And he left a remark on everybody. And from time to time, he'll make appearances, like his last appearance, if I'm not mistaken, was at WrestleMania 32. That was the last time we saw him in a WWE ring, if I'm not mistaken. Again, there's a lot of information about Stone Cold. Stone Cold, I think one of the reasons I think he was one of my favorites was, one, he was just a great mouthpiece. Two, he had that attitude, that ruthless aggression, no pun intended. He was very open-minded. He was very bold. He has balls. He didn't let anybody push him around. But I would say he was more of a tweener rather than a babyface, because he would attack babyfaces. He didn't really like anybody. He rarely trusted anybody. I don't think he trusted anybody at all, really. Which made it better when he was formed with tag teams and then they're down the road. But Stone Cold revolutionized the entire industry of professional wrestling for what it is today, whether better or worse. Stone Cold was the reason why WWE is still alive today, or at least one of the main reasons why. Because of Stone Cold in the Attitude Era, we end up being WCW, and WCW went down under. Now WWE is still alive and well. Stone Cold was one of those guys that helped revolutionize the business. And favorite to a lot of fans, yours truly, he's definitely a fan favorite. He's definitely he's the type of guy you honestly can't hate. Like, again, I'm not fond of The Rock. I was never really a Rock fan. I do admit he can wrestle. He's very funny. The guy can definitely talk. He's put on some memorable matches, but I was more of a Stone Cold guy. And again, I think it goes back because I was more of a brawler type guy. But doesn't mean Stone Cold was a terrible wrestler. I mean, he was good, but he wasn't like as great as or technical as The Rock. But he has no own unique style to him. He made it up with his catchphrases, which is what, it's all hell yeah, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold says so. Infamous catchphrases like that. He was just, there wasn't really any nitpick. I guess the only nitpick I would say is, yeah, his kind of heel turn was a little odd at times, but it wasn't horrific. I think it was just better if they would have just kept him the way he was, as like the babyface or tweenerish character that just kicked everybody's ass. But Stone Cold definitely revolutionized the business. He'll always be one of fans' favorites. But I think he's Jeremiah's favorite of all time. I think he's Brandon's favorite. At least he's one of his, and he's definitely one of mine. Always be a fan of Stone Cold, and I have so much respect for him. He's done a lot for the business, and Stone Cold, which has always be popular in my eyes and to a lot of people's eyes. So with that being said, now overall, Stone Cold was an amazing athlete. The guy had memorable moments, memorable feuds. He had great matches. That's really all I can say. There's nothing really negative I can say. So now what I'm going to do is So I'm going to draft 5 people. And you guys are going to vote down below after this video is all done. You guys are going to vote down below in the voting poll. I'll have a link after this video. You guys will get to choose the next Wrestler Talk video I do next. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. The first pick. Let's see, first pick. Let's see here. Stone Cold Steve Austin, but we just did him. So that's obsolete. That's out of the way now. Let's see here. Santino Marella. I'll show you here. Santino Marella. Let's see. Second one. AJ Lee. Alberto Del Rio or El Patron. And here we go. I got American Alpha as a tag team. So American Alpha. And then one more. Justin Gabriel. So very interesting selection I have here. Very interesting selection here. Oh yeah, definitely very interesting. But those are the guys. So after this live event is done, you guys will get to vote down below and tell me who do you want to see. You guys get to vote what Wrestler Talk video I do next, and I'll give you guys roughly a month or so before I do the next one. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time.